Well, the US has cautioned Israel about escalation with the Iranian-backed Hezbollah as Benjamin Netanyahu weighs up a response to a rocket strike from Lebanon over the weekend that killed 12 children. Joining us live now, former IDF veteran of the Second Lebanon War, Benjamin Anthony. Ben, we haven't seen war between Israel and Lebanon since 2006, almost 20 years, but it's very close now. Do you see it spilling over?
Thank you very much for having me. I don't think that anybody knows whether it's going to spill over or not. I do believe that there is a very strong sentiment in Israel among Israelis that the time has come to severely injure the abilities and the capabilities of Hezbollah. The fact of the matter is that 12 individuals, 12 young people playing soccer in northern Israel were murdered in the course of undertaking the perfectly ordinary. That cannot be tolerated. It must not be tolerated. And with all due respect to our friends, including the Americans, I very much doubt that they would accept the standard of hanging fire in the face of such a national tragedy as the one that Israel has just faced. So I think that the sentiment in Israel definitely to push back.
What do you do, Ben? What do you do that then isn't too much that Hezbollah or whatever Iran's puppets do doesn't cause a bigger war?
Well, I think the first thing to do is not act out of fear of that eventuality. Israel has a very strong military. It's very capable. It's showing its capabilities in the south, despite the shock following the atrocity of October the 7th. And if our guns should turn north and our intensity should focus on southern Lebanon and fighting Hezbollah, this terror proxy of Iran, we will be victorious. But your question is right. When one escalates, one can never know where that will end. That's why we should act confidently, carefully, in a very calculated way, but ready to wage war until we destroy the capabilities of Hezbollah.
Yeah, well noted that Hezbollah is a much tougher opponent than Hamas is. So just talk about what your experiences were in war with Lebanon.
Well, when I was in war in 2006 during the Second Lebanon War, we did not have the Iron Dome system, this aerial defense system that is arrayed across the state of Israel. And what that meant was that Hezbollah's rocket and missile arsenal, if triggered, a rocket went up and a rocket went down, and it went down inside Israel, all the way down to the northern city of Haifa in many, many cases. The inability to intercept, though, Peter, I want your viewers to understand, meant that there needed to be rapid and decisive decisions taken very, very swiftly to move into southern Lebanon, inflict as much damage against Hezbollah's capabilities as we possibly could, and then to bring quiet back to our borders. That quiet largely held between 2006 and 2024. But it's been breached now, and in order to return it, and more importantly, in order to bring our civilians back to their homes in northern Israel, 60,000 of them have been evacuated since October the 8th. In order to do that, we need to move forward, make those bold decisions, and take the fight to our enemy. And dare I say it, we also ought to be striking inside Iran. It's Iran who has supplied these capabilities. It's Iran who supplied this know-how, and it's time to cut off, in my opinion, the head of the snake, at least in terms of its military capabilities and will against the state of Israel.
Okay, well, as that story progresses, we'll come back to you, Ben, but really appreciate your time this morning and your insight. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.